Okay, in this video, I'm talking about review for chapter 3 for the individual tests, and we're looking at solving number 12 and 13. Okay, in 12 and 13 both, I see that there are fractions. Remember that the fraction bar just tells me to divide. So if I want to undivide or do the opposite, excuse me, I'm going to multiply. Okay, and I want to multiply everything by the same thing because it's an equation. If it's just an expression, I might just want to multiply each piece by a special looking giant 1, but because there's an equation, I want to multiply everything by the same thing. When I look at the denominators, the first one has a 3 and an x, the second one has a 3, the third one has an x. Notice it's not plus or minus, it's all multiplication. So my common denominator is 3x. I'm going to multiply each term times 3x, remember only on the top because technically we're multiplying by 3x over 1. So in each of these fractions, we want to take a look at what's going on. In the first fraction, the x and the 3 both make a giant 1, and all that's remaining is 2. Then we bring down the plus sign. In the next fraction, there's a 3 on the top and bottom, and all that's remaining is x squared. Okay? Then we bring down the equal sign. And the third one, there's an x and an x. Those are gone. There is a 2 and 3 remaining, but we're going to multiply 2 times 3 to make 6. Okay? Now I see an x squared here, but there's no x's. So I'm actually just going to work to undo and get the x by itself. I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. And then I know x squared looks like this. Y equals 4 looks like that. I should have 2 solutions. Okay, you can think about it as taking the square root, but remember when you take the square root of something squared, we use plus or minus. So x is positive and negative 2, positive or negative 2. Both of those answers will make that equation true. Okay, number 13, very, very similar. Okay, I've got fractions. I want to unfraction or undivide by multiplying. When I look at the current denominators, I see a 7 times x, and an x. So the common denominator will be 7 times x, or 7x. So I'm going to multiply the top of all 3 by 7. Again, this is just 7x over 1. So I'm multiplying the tops by 7x. The bottoms I'm multiplying by 1 or just leaving alone. So if I look at one term at a time, the 7's cancel, but I get a 3xx, or a 3x squared. Bring down the plus sign. In this middle term, there's a 7x on the bottom and a 7x on the top, so the 3 is all that's remaining. And then equals, in this third one, there's an x on top and bottom, there's a 14 remaining, okay? Again, I see an x squared, but no x, so I'm just going to undo. I'm going to subtract the 3 from both sides. Oh, I didn't think this one out very well. That's okay. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And then I'm going to take the square root, remembering that when I take the square root, I need a plus or a minus. Okay? Now, we don't know the square root of 11. We don't know the square root of 3, so our answer is simply plus or minus the square root of 11/3. It is okay to leave it just like that. Okay? If you want to put it in your calculator and get the decimal, it's okay, but really this exact answer is better.